In the darkness he moved unseen, disarming, impeccable manners, danger hidden behind a smile. His name, Marcus Venn, or so he claimed. 12 women, 6 years, each one drawn in, then gone. They vanished, without a sound, without a trace, no answers, no bodies, only fear and the chilling certainty he's still out there. To the outside world, Marcus seemed normal, a 38-year-old software consultant living in Asheville, North Carolina, private but polite. He met women online, Match.com, Coffee Meets Bagel, even Craigslist in the early days. His photos were neat, his messages respectful, but each relationship followed the same chilling pattern. It started with Sophia Klein in 2011, a 29-year-old interior designer from Atlanta. They dated for 7 months. Friends say she was smitten. Then in April, she stopped answering texts, missed a family gathering, police were called. Her apartment was undisturbed, purse and phone left on the counter. Gap 2S. As investigators combed through Sophia's belongings, they stumbled upon something strange. An unsent email saved in her drafts. The message, addressed to her sister, was never finished. In it, Sophia wrote, "Something feels off lately. Marcus has been acting." The sentence trailed off, ending mid-thought. Detectives wondered, was Sophia about to share a secret? Did she sense danger, or was it just a passing worry? The email became a silent witness, a fragment of the last days before she vanished. Her sister, Anna, later told police Sophia had sounded distracted and anxious in their last phone call. She said she wanted to talk about something important, but she never called back. Gap 2S. The unsent email left open on Sophia's laptop offered no clear answers, only more questions, and for investigators it was the first real hint that Sophia's disappearance might be more than just a woman walking away from a relationship. Marcus told police she left him 2 weeks before. Things just weren't working, he said. Case went cold. Sophia was never seen again. In 2012 it was Jennifer Cole, a 34-year-old medical assistant from Knoxville. They dated for about 4 months. She vanished in September. Same story, really. There was a quiet breakup. Marcus claimed she moved out of state. Her sister told police Jennifer never mentioned any breakup. She was talking about marriage. By 2017, 6 women had disappeared, always from different towns, always dating Marcus, and always he had the same explanation. She left, she ghosted me, I haven't heard from her either. Detective Rachel Owens of the Asheville Police Department began noticing the pattern. She filed a report internally in 2018. Marcus Venn has been associated with 6 missing persons, timeline consistent, needs federal attention. The FBI opened a quiet inquiry, but, without evidence, no charges were filed, no crime scene, no bodies, no proof. Then came case number 7, Lindsay Hale, a 25-year-old law student from Charleston. They met on Bumble. In her last text to a friend, she wrote, "Going to Asheville this weekend. Marcus rented a cabin, says it's off-grid, no signal, wish me luck." Detectives found a single strand of blonde hair on a wooden floorboard. It was just too degraded for DNA. Marcus denied everything. No idea where she went, he said. She left in the middle of the night, no neighbors saw her, no security cams that far out. Just silence. Her parents begged for a federal warrant. It was denied, insufficient cause. Between 2011 and 2021, 12 women vanished, all linked to Marcus Venn, but Marcus Venn has never been arrested, never been charged, and as of today, he lives alone, still in Asheville. He doesn't use dating apps anymore, but he's still online, in forums, in discussion groups, in digital spaces where no one would notice him. In a 2022 podcast interview, Detective Owens said, "We believe Marcus knows more than he's saying, but unless someone talks, unless we find one piece of physical evidence, our hands are tied." In 2023, a Reddit user claimed to have matched with Marcus on Hinge. She posted screenshots. One message read, I like women who disappear into the woods with me. Her account was deleted 2 days later. Still no charges, still no leads, still no bodies. 12 women, 12 families still searching. One man who always says the same thing: she left me. But what if she never left at all? Vanished Whispers. Subscribe for more stories that honestly still have no ending. Thanks for listening, and well, stay curious. Gap 3S. I saw Marcus and a woman arguing near the old mill late at night. She looked scared. He kept glancing over his shoulder. I heard her say, "Please, just let me go." Then they disappeared into the woods. I never saw her again. Police transcript, Gap 3S, Detective Owens. Marcus, can you explain your whereabouts on April 14th? Marcus, I was home, alone. Detective Owens, no one can confirm that. Your phone was off. Marcus, I needed some time away from everything. Detective Owens, you understand why that looks suspicious? Marcus, I do, but I have nothing to hide. Unsettling Evidence. Gap 3S. Forensic report. A woman's earring was found buried in Marcus's backyard. DNA matched one of the missing women. Marcus claims he has no idea how it got there. No other evidence was found. The case grows colder, but the questions multiply. Shocking twist. Gap 3S. In a surprise turn, a new woman comes forward. She claims to have dated Marcus and survived. She describes a hidden basement, strange rituals, and a locked room she was never allowed to enter. Police search the property again, but the basement is empty. The woman vanishes days after her statement. Open-ended mystery, Gap 3S. The case remains unsolved. Marcus Venn moves out of Asheville. The missing women's families still wait for answers. And every year, on the anniversary of the first disappearance, a single white rose appears on the police station steps. No one knows who leaves it. The whispers continue. 3 years after the last disappearance, a weathered envelope arrives at the Asheville police station. Inside is a handwritten letter, unsigned but unmistakably in Marcus Venn's handwriting. The letter is a confession, detailing the events of each disappearance, the motives, and the chilling remorse that haunts him. Marcus writes of guilt, of sleepless nights, and of a secret he could no longer keep. He explains how the white rose each year was his silent apology, a symbol of regret for lives he can never restore. The confession brings a wave of shock and relief to the town, and for the first time, the families of the missing women have answers. Marcus's words, both haunting and heartfelt, finally bring the story to a close. The truth, though devastating, allows the healing to begin. As Marcus Venn's confession ripples through Asheville, the families of the missing women are swept by a tide of grief, relief, and the first glimmers of closure after years of uncertainty. Their interviews reveal wounds that may never fully heal, but also a quiet strength that has carried them through the darkest nights. Sarah's mother, her eyes shining with both sorrow and relief, speaks of the endless waiting, the hope that refused to die, and the peace that comes with finally knowing. Jessica's sister, voice trembling, remembers laughter and shared secrets, cherishing the love that endures even in loss. These stories remind us that behind every headline are lives forever changed, and that healing is a journey taken together. Scene 32, the town's reflection. The confession echoes beyond the families, touching every corner of Asheville. At a candlelight vigil, neighbors gather to honor the women, their faces illuminated by hope and remembrance. The community stands together, mourning what was lost, but also vowing to protect one another and never forget. Local leaders call for unity, urging everyone to support the families and rebuild trust one day at a time. The vigil becomes a turning point, a moment of shared sorrow but also of hope, as the town begins to heal together. Scene 33, Psychological Insights. Experts in criminal psychology offer insight into Marcus Venn's mind, helping the community understand the shadows that sometimes hide behind ordinary faces. Dr. Emily Carter explains how Marcus's outward normalcy concealed a troubled soul, shaped by pain and a desperate need for control. She explores the triggers and traumas that led him astray, reminding us that evil can wear many faces, and that understanding is the first step toward prevention. These insights do not excuse, but they illuminate, helping the town, and all of us, grapple with the complexity of human nature. Scene 34, The Aftermath. In the weeks that follow, Asheville begins to mend. Support groups form and neighbors lean on each other, finding comfort in shared experience. Together, they learn that healing is possible, even if scars remain. The police department vows to do better, implementing new measures to keep the community safe. investigations continue, ensuring that every piece of the story is honored and every lesson learned. The town plants a memorial garden, each white rose a promise, to remember, to cherish, and to hope for a future where such tragedy never happens again. Scene 35, Marcus's final days. In his final days, Marcus Venn writes letters to the families, expressing remorse and seeking forgiveness he may never receive. These letters arrive after his death, stirring a storm of emotions, anger, sorrow, and for some, a measure of peace. Some families find comfort in his words, while others turn away, unable to forgive. The journey to healing is different for everyone, but each family finds their own way forward. In the end, Marcus's final act is a reminder of the tangled nature of justice, forgiveness, and redemption. The story of Marcus Venn and the women he left behind will never be forgotten. In the quiet dawn, as the town gathers in the memorial garden, there is sorrow, but also hope. A hope born from unity, remembrance, and the promise to cherish every life. Even when all answers remain just out of reach, the journey toward healing continues. And in that journey we find the strength to move forward, together. As Asheville struggles to heal, a new voice breaks the uneasy calm. In a dimly lit interview room, a previously silent witness steps forward, their identity concealed. The witness recounts a chilling encounter on the night Jessica vanished, a shadowy figure lurking near the old mill, a woman's muffled cry and headlights flickering through the mist. Their hands tremble as they describe an odd, metallic scent on the breeze and the hurried footsteps echoing on gravel. The witness admits fear kept them silent for years, but Marcus Venn's confession has stirred something deeper, a need for the truth to be known. They reveal a detail never before made public, a silver locket glinting in the grass near the mill, engraved with the initials J.R. The locket's disappearance from the evidence room raises haunting questions. Was it lost or intentionally removed? This testimony breathes new life into the investigation, hinting at hidden layers and possible accomplices. The town, once lulled by the confession's closure, is now gripped by unease and a renewed urgency. The story is not over. The shadows still hold secrets, and the search for answers has only just begun. The investigation takes a sharp turn. In a stark, fluorescent-lit interrogation room, Detective Owens sits across from a new potential suspect, Eli Turner, a local handyman with a history of petty theft and a connection to the old mill. The audio crackles as the transcript unfolds, each word charged with suspicion and frustration. Detective Owens: Eli, we know you were near the mill the night Jessica disappeared. Why did you lie about your whereabouts? Eli, defensive: I didn't lie, I didn't think it mattered. I was fixing a generator for old Mrs. Carter. Detective Owens: At midnight, witnesses saw your truck by the mill. And what about the silver locket? You ever seen it before? Eli, hesitant: No, I don't know anything about a locket. I was just passing by, I swear. Detective Reyes, interrupting: Then explain the mud on your boots, the same kind found near the mill. You're hiding something, Eli. Eli, raising his voice: I'm not, you're twisting things. Why aren't you asking about Marcus? He confessed, didn't he? Detective Owens, leaning forward: Marcus's story doesn't add up, and now the locket's missing. Did you take it, Eli? Eli, voice breaking: No, I don't even know her. Look, I just want to go home. The transcript ends abruptly, with Eli's denial lingering in the air and the detectives exchanging wary glances. No confession, no closure. The ambiguity thickens. Was Eli merely in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or is he hiding a darker secret? The unanswered questions pile up, and the sense of unease only grows. In Asheville, the truth remains just out of reach, buried beneath layers of fear and silence. Just when the investigation appears to have reached a dead end, a shocking discovery shatters the fragile narrative. Late one night, an anonymous tip arrives at the precinct. An unmarked USB drive slipped beneath the station's heavy doors. On it, grainy, time-stamped surveillance footage from a wildlife camera hidden deep in the woods behind the old mill. The video plays, a shadowy figure, their face obscured, dragging a large duffel bag through the undergrowth. The timestamp matches the night Jessica vanished. But here's the twist: this person's height, gait, and clothing don't match either Eli or Marcus. As the figure passes into the moonlight, a distinctive tattoo flashes on their forearm, a pattern never seen before in the case files. Detectives freeze the footage, replaying it frame by frame. Who is this third individual? How did the footage surface now, after months of fruitless searching? And why does the tattoo seem eerily familiar to one of the missing women's social media posts from a year prior? The evidence is disturbing, upending every prior assumption. Was everyone looking in the wrong direction all along, or is someone manipulating the narrative from the shadows determined to keep the truth buried? With this new evidence, the case spirals into deeper uncertainty. Nothing and no one is what they seemed. It all comes down to this moment. The hidden footage, once a grainy enigma, now becomes the linchpin that unravels the entire mystery. Investigators painstakingly enhance the video, revealing that the tattoo on the shadowy figure's arm is an exact match to one shared in a photo by one of the missing women, the connection no one had seen until now. Confronted with this undeniable evidence, the man at the center of suspicion is brought in. His alibis crumble. In the interrogation room, faced with the footage, he finally breaks. A quiet confession echoes through the sterile walls, details only the perpetrator could have known. The news spreads quickly. For the families, it's not the ending they wanted, but it's the closure they desperately needed. Candlelight vigils flicker across the community, a tribute to those lost, and a testament to the resilience of those left behind. Though scars remain, hope emerges from tragedy. The investigation's end is not just an answer but a beginning, a chance to heal, and a promise that even in darkness, the truth can come to light. On screen, a message appears. If you or someone you know is missing, never give up hope. Together, we can bring the truth to light. In the quiet after the storm, the community breathes again. Changed, but not broken. The truth, hard-won and painful, settles like morning mist over the town. Families gather, some for the first time in months, holding each other a little tighter. The faces of the missing become more than headlines. They are remembered in laughter, in tears, in the gentle touch of a hand on a shoulder. Detective Owens stands outside the precinct watching as the sun rises, a symbol of new beginnings. For him, and for those who searched, there is relief, but also the weight of what was lost. Across kitchen tables and candlelit vigils, stories are shared, of love, of loss, of the long journey to justice. The man behind the mystery faces his fate, but the true legacy lies with those who refused to forget. Through every setback, every unanswered question, hope endured. And now, as the community begins to heal, there is a promise that no one will have to walk through the darkness alone again. The echoes of this story linger, not as shadows, but as reminders of courage, resilience, and the power of truth. In memory of those lost, and in honor of those who searched, the town moves forward, forever changed, forever united. On screen, a final message appears. Subscribe for more true crime stories. Remember, healing begins with hope. Thank you for watching.